In this video, we are going to be discussing one of Newton's three laws, this being his first law, otherwise known as the law of inertia. Newton's first law states that an object at rest will remain at rest, and an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. To put this in more simple terms, an object that is sitting still will remain sitting still, and an object that is moving will continuously move in the same direction at the same speed unless there is an unbalanced force to either stop or slow down this movement. To fully understand what Newton is saying in this law, we need to grasp the concept of this law. The second part of this law seems to contradict what we go through in our everyday lives. When we toss a ball in the air, it doesn't float forever, it falls back down. So to understand Newton's first law, we need to understand what an unbalanced force is and why do they prevent movement. If the forces on an object are not equal and opposite, then the forces are unbalanced and the motion of the object changes. If the forces on an object are equal and opposite, then the forces are balanced and there will be no change in motion. When you have two players playing a game of tug of war, both players are pulling the rope with an equal force on the rope, and they are each pulling the rope in opposite directions. It is a balanced force. The players and the rope will not move. Some examples of unbalanced forces we have on Earth are wind resistance and friction. These don't exist in outer space. In outer space, there are no forces. A car on the road needs an engine to make the car move. The engine counteracts the unbalanced force of wind resistance and friction to move the car. If that engine were to be taken away, or maybe fail, the car will slow down and come to a stop. The wind resistance of the atmosphere and the friction of the road will not allow the car to continue moving on its own. For a rocket ship to fly to outer space, they need a lot of external force from their jet to leave the Earth's atmosphere. At this point, the jet of the rocket and the atmosphere and gravity of Earth are creating an unbalanced force. But once the rocket arrives into space, there is no longer an external force preventing it from moving. The jet can be turned off and the rocket will continue in its path. So what is inertia? Inertia is the capability of an object to resist changes in motion. We can say inertia is how well an object is at resisting these forces, such as wind resistance or friction, from stopping its motion. The more mass an object has, the more inertia it has. And the more inertia an object has, the more force is needed to start or stop the object's motion. So this means the heavier an object is, the more inertia the object has. When the object has more inertia, it does a greater job continuing its current motion and refusing other forces from stopping the object from doing so. Here we see a water bottle that is much heavier than an empty cup. Because the water bottle is heavier, it has more inertia, which means it takes more force to move the object. For another example, say you set down a ping pong ball beside a soccer ball on a hardwood floor. Because the soccer ball weighs much more than the ping pong ball, the soccer ball has more inertia. And because it has more inertia, it is going to take more force to get it moving than the ping pong ball. This is why we could flick the ping pong ball, but must kick the soccer ball. When we do use external force to move the balls, the soccer ball will do a much better job at resisting friction and wind resistance because it has more inertia. The ping pong ball is likely to stop rolling first and possibly even change its direction altogether. And the soccer ball will take more time for its friction and other forces to stop it. And that is Newton's first law, the law of inertia. Thank you for watching.